Hello one and all, and welcome back to Let's Play Diddy Kong Racing! I am the Max of Few Trades. In the last part, we started off our adventure as Diddy Kong, went off into Dino Domain and smoked every single course that there ever was, completely obliterated all possible records, except definitely I didn't. And we managed to fight, or I guess race, the championship racer of the zone, Tricky, and he bequeathed us a challenge that we are not going to take up until later. Today, we're actually going into a brand new zone as new character, Bumper the Badger. Now, Bumper the Badger is a pretty sweet fella. Long before honey badgers were mimetic with their crazy awesomeness, Bumper the Badger stood valiantly on the racetracks to obliterate some fools with his awesome abilities. Also, kind of forgot about something that I probably shouldn't have, but sometimes, generally, when you get a certain amount of balloons, old Guardian Genie Roger whatever his name is, actually challenges you to a race, and if you beat him, he gives you a golden balloon. So I kind of had to jump out of the challenge, but now I'm gonna jump right back into it. Offwards! Onwards. Alright, so his challenges are actually super duper ultra simple. I can only assume they exist to help you allocate yourself with the rest of the island. They gradually become slightly more difficult as time goes by. The first challenge, as you might have noticed, is just a bunch of turning. Basically, we're just going full NASCAR up in here. Just a big old donut. It might look like you actually have to collect those flags with the Nintendo 64 logo on them, but you don't. They're just a guide marker to let you know where you're supposed to go. And ta-da! Relinquish your balloons!
Hello, friend.
Take this as a reward. I'll see you later.
Bye-bye for now.
Or perhaps he's just trying to train us. I don't know what his intended purpose is. All I know is that I am appreciative of it. Anyway, in order to summon him, you have to actually stand on his, I guess, I don't know, his giant welcome mat of his face and honk. You can also crash into him or just go up to him and honk. But if he's too far away, then you can just, you know, land on the pad. Alternatively, you could just always use the airplane, because there's nothing you can't get to that you can't do without the airplane. The airplane is pretty much the ultimate vehicle. Anyway, brand new world. Let's do this.
Snowflake Mountain.
Snowflake Mountain. I friggin' love this place. I just generally really like ice-based levels and things, essentially. Anyway, we've got some new racetracks to go to. Might as well not mince any words or do any other such nonsense. Let's just do some races to Everfrost Peak.
Everfrost Peak.
Not entirely sure why planes are the go-to vehicle for this particular racetrack. Fun fact, if you come back to a particular racetrack after defeating it, you're actually able to race it again, and sometimes you're given access to multiple vehicles. Any vehicle that can logically get itself through the entire level, you can play it. As you can see, you might notice all of these, what do you call them? Oh yeah, they call them zippers in-game. But the planes can use them if you get your landing gear out fast enough. You can use those as an airplane, but they're primarily supposed to be used for the alternative vehicle that you can use in this level, the hovercraft, which I am prolonging the use of for as long as possible because I do not enjoy that thing. Oh my goodness. If this game has any flaws, it's the hovercraft. Anywho, things are going pretty darn good, pretty darn swell. Bumper the Badger is doing pretty dang fantastically. Whoa. Okay, yep, and that's what happens when you crash into stuff, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, that's fine. We're already so freakishly ahead of everybody, it don't even matter if we screw up. This is a luxury we do not get to keep for the whole entirety of the game, so I'm going to enjoy it while I got it. Whoa, alright. Flying around. Everything's good, everything's swell, everything's fantabulific. Just a little bit more, Bumper. We've got them on the ropes. Oh boy, okay. Which is good, because we don't know how to steer, apparently. Alright, now let's just get that landing gear. Oh, okay, I messed that one up and have no acceleration as a result. Good going me. Alright, and supercharge! Whoop! Now, will he drive immediately into the tree? Yes, he will. Funny how that works. It's a winter wonderland. Hey, howdy dowdy there, Mr. Genie Man. Give me that balloon. A balloon made out of gold. I am no geologist, so I don't claim to know anything about minerals or the things that they are, you know, what they do or their compositions and the like, but I'm pretty sure you cannot, in fact, make a balloon out of gold. You can make one out of lead if it's really, really thin. Mythbusters taught me that, but I'm pretty sure gold is a little too heavy. Either way, to Snowball Valley. Oh, Snowball Valley. All right, now first things first. We are not going to bother racing. Yes, all of you, go off and do your thing. I've got more important Bumper the Badger-like things to do. If you make an immediate left over into this particular neck of the woods, and then make a quick right, you'll notice it, the giant golden key of the world. And luckily, you don't actually have to beat the race or even finish it in order to make use of this giant golden key. Just grab it and leave, and bada bing, bada boom, you've got full access. Again, those doors will come in handy later, but as is the case for right now, we're going to be focusing solely on the racing. In fact, I might do all of those particular little minigame challenges after we finished every race that we possibly can up to that point. That seems like the type of thing I should be doing. Alright, out of the way, assortment of nerds. Oi, get oil slicks, Timber. What are you gonna say? What are you gonna say about that? Nothing, that's what. Alright, everybody's got a pretty healthy lead, yo. Except, apparently, I've got the superior drifting skills. Avoid those gigantic sentient, snowballs. You know they're sentient because they've got eyeballs, and you know it's a Rareware game because inanimate objects have googly eyes. Yep, there we go. Oh boy. Okay, I made my turn just a little bit too tight. Just a little bit. Not just a tad, not terribly. Oh boy. Okay, and got hit by a homing missile, because of course I did. Alright. Crunch, I respect you as a Kremling and as a gentleman, but I'm afraid I must say nay. You're not allowed to win any races until I am the one controlling you. And considering your crazy stats, I'm putting that off until the least possible moment. Crunch is not easy to play as. He has literally, like, 0 handling and 0... Okay, I guess that works out pretty good. He has 0 handling and his acceleration is complete garbage. But he has the highest top speed in the game, so if you can get past those other parts, he's actually pretty decent. Bumper is a lot like Diddy and Timber in that he's pretty much just the middleweight. Either way, thanks for the giant golden balloon. It is very handy-dandy. You're a pretty swell fella. Alright, next up on the agenda, Walrus Cove. Looks like I was supposed to go here after Everfrost Peak. Whatever, doesn't matter. Walrus Cove. Let's do this crazy song and dance number. The Zambo! And now we've got one of my favorite songs in the game. I'm even going to shut up for a moment so you can fully enjoy its wonder. If there's one thing Rareware always gets right, it's their soundtracks. The quality of their games may have started slipping, and eventually made into an entire nosedive into motion control minigame collections. But, you know, before all that, they made purely 100% consistently amazing games. But even in those incredibly terrible minigame compilations, even then, the music is always good. So, that's pretty crazy. Anyway, I just picked up a balloon that we hadn't picked up before. I think it was the rainbow balloon. The rainbow balloon gives you a magnet. The more of those balloons you collect, the more powerful the magnet, and you use the magnet to lock on to people ahead of you in order to pull yourself ahead a little bit better, and you know, make up for some lost ground. Which basically is the long and short of it all. Hoo-yah! Oh boy. Okay. For some reason, this ice doesn't work like ice. It's actually very, very bouncy. Boing. I'm pretty sure that's just the game's way of getting you out of there without, you know, a bunch of problems, you know, like, you know, having to deal with, like, ice physics and the like, because I can only imagine how terrible that would be in a racing game. So they just kind of immediately boing, boing, boing you back out until you're eventually back on the track. If anything, it's actually a pretty clever idea. Either way, things are looking pretty good for good sub Mr. McBumper. Oh, okay, probably should have put my finger on the accelerator a bit earlier then. Oh well, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter in the slightest. Yep-ta. And this is probably a bad idea, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yeah, that was. I do not have the handle on that dangle. No, thank you, sir. Really, Bumper? I swear, the characters go out of their ways to do something incredibly silly or just dumb whenever you actually stop controlling them. It's pretty dang silly. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Alright, now most racers would need a rest after all this, but Bumper is a honey badger, and by virtue, he simply does not care. He does what he wants, and what he wants is to speed through all of life in a go-kart, as that is just how he rolls. Anyway, let's do this crazy dance. Hoo-ah! This is also a really good song in this game. Hoo-ah! There we go. That's how you do that, good sir. Well, okay. If I didn't crash, that would have hit me. So I'm gonna say I did that entirely on purpose. And there's no way you can actually prove otherwise. So it all works out. It's a win-win for me. Oh yeah. Ah, light posts. Oh, okay. That's all good. Don't worry. We got a handle on all this. And plop that bubble down. And hope to God somebody bumps into it and it's not me. If you want to make sure to impede people's progress, I generally suggest putting traps somewhere around the zippers. I would recommend, after the zipper, so they, all the speeded up momentum they get from them completely gets nullified. Kind of like putting a fake item box in front of, the speed ups and the Mario Karts. It's impossible to not make comparisons between the two games, although I suppose which you prefer depends entirely on what you played. I mean, this was the first game I ever laid eyes upon, so I'm kinda gonna have to be biased and just say, yeah, I prefer this immensely over Mario Kart 64 about 1,000,000 times over, like not even a question. I just think this game is in general better. Is that actually true from a statistical standpoint or whatever? I don't know, probably not. But I also don't entirely care. So, yeah, I won't try to convince you that this game is better than Mario 64 as long as you try to not convince me that Mario Kart 64 is better than this. And we can just simply live in tolerance of each other and silently judge each other over their obvious, the obvious errors in their judgments. Just bottle all that stuff in. Bum-ba-da-bum-bum-bum. But with that, we've managed to complete yet another round of races, which means we've gained access to the Super Duper Mega Racer. What crazy creature will it be this time? And first thing, we raced a Triceratops, and it's an ice world. Think of creatures that might live on the ice, and it might all come together, and you might just realize it because it's a honkin' walrus.
Well done. Now I challenge you to a race.
Unfortunately, we have to do this in the hovercraft. Here's the problem with the hovercraft. It has no friction. All right, moving forward. Just zoom, zoom, zoom. See, the thing about the hovercraft is, as it has absolutely no friction, it takes forever for it to build up speed. But once it does, it goes super duper crazy fast. Of course, you can also very easily lose that momentum by bumping into pretty much any object you could possibly think of. So that's a problem. And as long as you're going on a bunch of straightaways, it won't be a problem. But with a bunch of turns and the like, such as this, well, yeah, you might have a bit... Actually, this is probably the straightest and easiest course for the hovercraft ever. That's lucky, but try not to go too fast and bump into anything, or try not to turn too fast, otherwise you just lose all of your momentum straight out the gate. Anyway, it's looking like we've actually managed to beat this fellow, whose name escapes me at this moment in time. I think it might be Bluey. Either way, it doesn't matter what your name is. Wow, he was way back behind us. That's the easiest time I've had with that boss before. Weird.
Well done. Now try my new challenge. Collect all the silver coins from the snow world. Collect 8 from each level and win. Then come back and see me.
Your voice sounds painful, and I am sorry about that.
I got something special for you.
Did you know that if you take your finger off the accelerator just before you hit a zipper, you'll go even faster? Granted, I don't explain the rainbow smoke thing, which means people are probably going to end up accidentally just seeing the green fire and assume, oh, I did it right, when in actuality you did not. Either way, that is all she wrote for Snowflake Mountain, at least for the moment. We shall return, do not worry. We'll see all these tracks again. We'll also do the bonus game. It will all be a fine and dandy time, but before we sign off, I've learned from my mistakes in the past, and you should be waiting for us just outside. Yes, you are.
I challenge you to a race.
Then race we shall.
Zoo.
Again, with the friggin' hovercraft. Ah, well, I suppose it's good practice, seeing as how we don't really have much of a choice in what we use in the next world. That's all about the hovercrafts. Alright, it's all well and good. Be up top. There we go. This island really is pretty much designed for racing. I don't know how much of it is natural landmass and how much of it is, I guess, tiger-made, as tigers are the rightful owners of this place, but, oh boy, Either way, it's, definitely impressive. Not gonna say it's not. Fun fact, remember Hot Top Volcano? You can actually use the hovercraft in that place. So, I guess these things are sturdy enough to survive molten lava. Unless perhaps it is cheese fondue. And merely molten cheesy lava. I don't know. Given the graphical capabilities of the Nintendo 64, it very well could be cheese. Who's to say? Who's to judge? Certainly not me. I have nothing but great things to say about this game, honestly. Yep, other than the hovercraft, but even the hovercraft, honestly, I'm exaggerating. It's a real huge pain in the butt when you start, but once you get the hang of it, with the exception of one racetrack that we'll deal with next time, you won't have any real problems with it. It's definitely the most unwieldy of the various things. Also, wow, you are way behind us. Just took a glance at that mini-map. My goodness. And ta-da!
Hello, friend. Bye-bye for now.
Yes, farewell, my Elefante friend. Give me that balloon! Huzzah! Alright, well, that's Snowflake Mountain for you, everybody. Hope you guys had a super fantabularific time. In the next part, we'll be heading off to the next world, and again, with a brand new character, so say farewell to Bumper the Badger. Maybe we'll see him again. Maybe we won't. Either way, he got his spotlight, and, well, I mean, this is the only game he ever shows up in, so it's pretty good that he got it. See you next time!